Right, guys, good morning. Here we are back with another vlog from your boy. So today's vlog is gonna be a little bit different. Let me get back to you, and then I'm just in an interval. 1 second. All right, so today's vlog, we're gonna talk about some of our favorite subscriptions that we like to use around fitness and sleep. And what, I don't know, we feel are worth it and what we don't think really is worth it, and maybe something you might be interested in investing into. But we'll get into that after the easy intervals come our way. All right, beautiful people, back. We had, I think it was 8 intervals, 30 seconds at our zone 5 with a decreasing ladder of rest from 2 minutes down to a minute. And now we're just in our endurance intervals. They're 12 minutes on at a zone 2 zone. Mine's at 175, Erin's at 140 watts. So I guess we might as well start off with our first subscription that we've been committed to for a very long time now, which is Zwift. Z-W-I-F-T, Zwift. And I have to say this has been one of my most favorite programs or softwares to use around my training. Just simply because we're kind of able to zone out and do a workout, or be really dialed in and do a workout. So there's different features on Zwift, and one of them is called erg mode, where if you have a set watt that you need to be producing on your bike, or power that you need to be doing on your bike, it will keep you fixed at that watt or zone or power. And then there's basically free ride, where you get to actually feel the map, and when you're going over a hill, it feels like you're going over a hill. If you're on the flats, you're flying, and it shows you all your metrics. Shows your kilometers per hour, your distance, your elevation, the time that you've been on your bike, and there's other people around you, which is really cool too, so you can interact with the community of other cyclists, which is awesome. So the monthly price point for Zwift is $18.99. It's worth every penny. There are custom workouts on there, and there's multiple events that happen throughout the week. So you can jump in with other group riders and just basically experience personal coaching, and also being with a peloton, working on drafting and racing and stuff like that. So for the price point, I feel like it's really worth it, every cent.
So the next subscription that we've had for, what is this, 3 years now? Going on 3 years. Going on 3 years is our training program from our coach, Matt Dixon at Purple Patch. We love Purple Patch specifically because it's really customizable. You can arrange the workout so that it fits your schedule, so it's great for people like us who are shift workers, who need to move a lot of things around. But I will say that if anyone brand new coming into the sport were to ask me what's the #1 thing to get as a new triathlete, I would say get a training plan and invest in a coach. Whether that's Purple Patch or not, I think having a coaching subscription is the best thing that Spencer and I could have invested in, and we've seen a lot of progress with that. So definitely get a coach. Our program is periodized, and it includes running, biking, and swimming, and also strength and mobility work throughout the week. It syncs up to Zwift, but there's video coaching. You can either do a live class with our coach, or there's the video on demand where you can pull up a workout whenever you want to, or whenever you program it in, and you can do it with the coach's feedback. So that's really helpful.
I just want to give a shout out to Purple Patch Fitness for helping us throughout all our training years as triathletes. Programming has been amazing. We've seen nothing but amazing results, and every year we keep PRing and get a little bit better.
All right, we are off to the pool on a Saturday.
Normally, never happens.
Yeah, it never happens, because normally we try and go during the week when nobody is there, because everyone works normal hours. But anyways, this isn't really a subscription, but it's kind of a hack if you are a triathlete. It's a hack.
It's not a hack. It's a normal membership, as if you're going to the gym or the pool.
Okay, he doesn't know what I'm about to say. Basically, what I was doing before is I was buying a 10 class pack, and it was actually more expensive than me buying a yearly pass. So depending on how much you're swimming, which is likely at least 2 times a week if you are training for the sport, it's probably worth getting a yearly pass. Yeah, so do a yearly pass is my recommendation. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're not going to swim twice. You're going to swim 2 to 3 times 1 week. You know what I mean? Depending on your schedules and how ambitious you feel.
And then same thing along the lines of like with the gym membership, right? Like you pay a weekly depending on what your gym offers, but I think it's just nice to know that you don't need to stress about, you know, if you had enough money or whatever, just buy it for the year. It's going to cost you less in the long run instead of just paying individually. So yeah.
Okay, so another subscription that we have had and we now have again is Athletic Greens. So we were getting it consistently and then we weren't sure if it was worth it or not because it can be a little bit more expensive. Then we stopped taking it and Spencer and I both got blood work and it wasn't great blood work to say the least. We were a little bit disappointed with some of the results and Inside Tracker gave us some recommendations of supplements that we need to take, all of which are in Athletic Greens. So needless to say, we're back on Athletic Greens again. This is not sponsored. None of this stuff is sponsored actually, but Athletic Greens is a way to get everything that most people need all in one go. I mean, this might be a controversial opinion. I am not the biggest fan of the taste of it, but for me, I know that it's so much more worth it than just a nice drink to have in the morning. Like I'm not taking it because it tastes good, I'm taking it because I know that I need the stuff that's in it. So we are back on the Athletic Green train and I would say this is a subscription that is worth it.
How much is it?
It is for 2 people, it's $212 a month, Canadian. So I'm not sure what that is in US. But so it's roughly that would be like $105, $106 per person a month. Now, if you're thinking about the mounds of pills that you would be buying to supplement if you didn't just take an all-in-one, you're probably looking at around the same price anyway. And vegetables, but I mean, this isn't a full supplement for vegetables. You still need to eat your vegetables. But yeah, so Spencer was getting like, I don't know, what would you say, like 12 different bottles of pills, and this has all of that in one, so it's roughly the same price.
All right, and our next subscription that we're getting from basically the food category is from Northern Raised Meat. So Erin and I are getting chicken and fish sent to us bi-weekly. We're looking at about $126 bi-weekly for high quality meats. It's organic, and we're also supporting a friend, which is really cool. So it's just one less thing that we need to worry about having to stress about going to the grocery store to get meats. Like right now we go to Costco, for example, but we're just not a big fan of their meats, and we're just trying to figure out a way to like automate a lot of these things that we can save time on, and just make sure that everything that we're getting is high quality. We're gonna give it a shot and hope it works out in our schedule, and hopefully find somebody to get our groceries for us.
Okay, so the next thing that we subscribed to for, I think it was almost a year, was the Whoop Band. You've probably heard us talk about this before. I love it. I loved it at the time, but was it worth the subscription? I don't think so. So neither Spencer nor I have the Whoop Band subscription anymore. It is good because it gives you all of the information and it views you as a whole throughout your entire day, throughout your entire week. But for me, it was almost like a data overload, and it had me very paranoid about my performance and my sleep and all of that stuff. Also, since I'm already wearing a Garmin and I was wearing the Whoop Band on the other hand, it just felt like a lot going on my wrists. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that way, but it just felt like a lot. It is still nice to know what your HRV is though, because that's a good metric to have for training, and we get that now from the 8 Sleep. So there's no reason for us to have both things. We're now leaning on the 8 Sleep to give us that data. So having some data is good, but I felt like the Whoop Band was almost an overload, so we do not subscribe to this anymore. So the Whoop Band appears cheap at first. It's about $40 a month, which when you're comparing it against something like the Oura Ring, which is $800 up front, it seems like, oh, that's pretty good. But if you're subscribing to it for a year or 2, it really does add up and ends up actually costing more than the Oura Ring. Our 8 Sleep is only how much is it again?
Like 20-ish bucks.
It's around $20 a month Canadian to have the the 8 Sleep track everything for us, and there's an autopilot setting where it sets the temperature of the 8 Sleep to your specific body temperature throughout the night to help you sleep longer. And we find that that is just overall more helpful and impactful on our sleep and performance than just the Whoop band that gives us the information but doesn't actually help provide any sort of solution to our sleeping problems.